my name's Sherry. I am an indie yarn dyer and embroiderer and lover of all things crafted and made. I live in the southwest of the UK in Devon, where we have a really blustery, rather blustery day, as Winnie the Pooh would say. Rain, thunder, dew, very unorthodox-like. Following on from a heat wave where because we Brits love to talk about the weather, following on from a heat wave where we're always, I can't believe how hot it is. So, anyway. So, what I wanted to do is, I've done podcasts in the past and I have done vlogs, which I really enjoy doing. I don't know how people like Jules. Hats off to you. I don't know how Jules, lovely Jules, So Sweet Violet, how she does it every day. Lots of people, Gaynor, Cherie, people will do it every day. I just couldn't do that. Magic, couldn't do it. So I was putting mine out sort of every 3 or 4, sometimes 5 days. And then we've got all sorts of internet problems. I think the last one didn't actually end up going out to about the 2nd of August. So I thought what I would do is like a small podcast at the beginning, and then tag on the sort of vlog, but not necessarily a daily vlog, just a sort of my last week. So that's what I thought I would do. So I'm just going to start off just showing you some of the things that I'm making or have made or planning. Then I was going to show you some of the books that I am reading or planning to read, and then just some of the yarns and bags that are going to go into the shop, and then at the end of that it will be the vlog. So that's the plan. So the first thing, which I have shown you before, and if you've seen my vlog you probably may have seen some of these, but not everybody watches vlogs, so there might be a bit of repetition. But these are the socks that I finished that are, actually I'm gifting them to my mum. And they've not been, I've just put them on here to show you, I haven't even watched them yet. But this is Kelly, Clever Kelly, Lay Family Yarn. I've said before, she's a yarn genius, and my mum loved these. I was knitting them in the car actually when we were picking her up. Oh, she said, I can't get over that yarn, it's so lovely. So, yeah, that's lovely, just a plain vanilla sock, nothing, just slip stitch heel, 64 stitches, kitchen a toe. Anyway, they're finished, and Mum, she won't be watching this because she doesn't have that internet thingy, but I do sometimes show her, so Mum. Now the other thing I'm doing is, which is in my little Toile de Joie bag, actually just found some of that fabric, I've made a couple of extra bags in that, is I'm doing the drippity drop socks from Clever K Jones. She's got so many patterns, oh my goodness, unbelievable, oh lovely. I'm really enjoying this. I haven't actually done any more this week at all. I haven't actually felt that well this week. I've had what I think is hay fever actually, because, sorry, of an evening I will feel really awful, like, oh, I've got flu coming, aching, sore throat. Next morning I'm fine. So I think it's hay fever. It's really knocked me actually this week, so I haven't been able to do a whole lot. But these, I am so loving that pattern. It's lovely. And because it's a repeat of 4 rows, I haven't bought the pattern. You seem to knit quicker, it's lovely. Sorry about that, got a distraction, and Monty wanted to come in. The dogs have been banned from the room because last time I was panting and all sorts going on. So yes, loving these, and they are again 64 stitches. Oh, and these are, I think they're Knit Pro Zings. I don't normally knit on metal needles, but actually quite enjoying these. So that's that happening, and this is actually the one of our yarns. This is Downton Abbey inspired. This is Lady Mary, which is not in the shop at the moment. But I wanted to see how it knitted up because I love it. And my thoughts, I've said this before, and it's not that I don't love summer. I do love summer, but I don't enjoy the heat. And I just love autumn. So my thoughts have already turned to autumn. And I've also got this, which my lovely, glamorous, gorgeous friend Nikki sent me. And I think actually I might do the heel in that. Nikki at Cottage, who inspires me so much. I'm trying not to clatter things. My granny stripe blanket, can't find. I've looked for that this morning, so it's probably in the car. My husband is out, so can't show you that, show you that next time. Something else I've got planned is this, which, oh, lovely Joanne bought me, gifted that to me, Port Hardy. Can you see it? Could not have given me a better, it's just me, that could just be called Sherry's hat. That's just perfect. So I've been wondering what to do, and I love to be outside. I love to be just outside, just with nature. But I've got a bright blue coat, and it occurred to me the other day that's probably not ideal. So I have been looking for, but I also didn't want a sort of dark hat. I wanted something quite cheery. So anyway, I've decided to do it in, I'm not tickling, these two. Sorry, I've been looking for that. Right, they're these two, so they're both Donegal net, and I think that'd be lovely. So I'm going to do the hat in that, and the main colour is that, and the birds in that. That's that plan. So I'm not very good at colour work. If you've seen one of my podcasts before, you did see I did try one before, which was hideous. So I'm going to see how that goes, but I think I've had a read of it and I think I can do it. I have faith. The other thing that I want to start is this, which is, this was a gift from lovely Emily, in my parcel, Salt City Knits, along with some gorgeous yarns, which I did show on my vlog before, and she sent me 2 of these. And I can't wait to do it actually, but as I said, this last week I haven't felt 100%, but that's something I'm going to start this weekend. And we've got apparently a really grim weekend of weather. So what have you got to do? You've got to knit, haven't you, and crochet and cross stitch. But I used to cross stitch a lot, far more than I used to embroider actually, so I'm looking forward to that. So thank you again, Emily. And that was very special as well, where it came from. And the other thing, is I got these. Gorgeous. These are individually hand blocked Indian cottons, and you can actually see, I don't know if I'm going to be able to show you very easily, but you can actually see where the blocks join. They're literally hand blocked. I don't know if you'll be able to see that. You might be able to pick out. Anyway, they're hand blocked and they're gorgeous and they're light, floaty, buttery. And even though I'm always hot, so even in winter, indoors, I've always got short sleeve tops on. So I'm going to make, so some of these are going to go into, look at that one, into bags. But I must make myself a top for one of them. So that's my makes. Yeah, that's what I'm going to show you today anyway. Don't want to go on for too long. And my needle's broken, look. Outrage. Don't even know how that happened. I've got doves out here in the garden. There's about 6 of them at the moment, and they've actually got to the point, they're very tame. They will eat up your hand quite happily, and they've actually got to the point where across the Rubicon. They've actually come into the kitchen the other day, which Monty was asleep, so he didn't even see, but anyway. So I just wanted to show you some of the books that I got, some for my birthday, some that I got from just looking around second-hand books. It's just a short section, so I wanted to show you. So these I got for my birthday, because birthday, Christmas, anything, it's just books. Because, I've said this before, I kind of have a bit of a panic if I don't have a book to read, or if I go away, or if I go out for the day and I don't have a book with me. Anyway, so I've got 2 Persephone books, which are lovely. So The Homemaker and Greenbank. So Persephone books they publish books by, I think they describe it as neglected 20th century female writers. There's one in there actually by Frances Hodgson Burnett that I really, really want as well. Well, there's lots, short stories. They all have these lovely end covers, different for each one. And beautifully presented, and they're just scrummy. So I've got 2 of those. I had about 6 on my list. Keith bought me those. And because I found out the other day I was a Hufflepuff, and because I'm a big Harry Potter fan, look at that. That's a post, so Monty's going to do a barking session now. Yeah, so that's exciting. So if the postman comes to the door, I've said this before, the dogs are like, anyway, she's being multi-guard dog out there, so I had to stop. So yes, look at this. So I'm not brave enough, I think, to be a Gryffindor. I think I was something like 25% Gryffindor, 50% Hufflepuff. There was a bit of Slytherin in me as well. I was some Ravenclaw. Anyway, that's lovely. Yes, so I think there's a comfort in reading, when you're reading books. So this next bit is a Nikki at the Cottage section, because if you've seen her feed, it's just totally inspirational. Every day she'll have a lovely, sometimes it's her own fair words, because she's a brilliant writer anyway. Or there'll be quotes on there, and it could be from nature, or I'm sorry if you can hear my fridge bubbling, everything's out to get me today. And she often has books on there, and this was one that she actually had on her feed some time ago. Anyway, she sent me this. So these are books now these are on my to read section. So this is the summer book, which is the translation, I believe. And look, that's the postcard that came with it. Persephone, which I think Nikki introduced me to Persephone books as well. And she was actually saying, so she's just been away, and again on her feed, she's had photos from Bath and Hardy's cottage, which are not that far away from me. And she actually quoted this morning was from Bath, it was Northanger Abbey. So I've been and found this, because this is one of my favourite books, Northanger Abbey. Jane Austen, I just love it. Catherine, and I've had to go and get that upstairs, found that. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm trying to read more. I used to read so much, and now I think it's like I said before, it's because I'm either thinking, oh, I'll do some embroidery or some knitting or whatever. So it's finding time to do it, but I'm going to read a book and then try and do sort of more of a classic, revisit some. And the other one that I cannot wait to read is this one, which was a gift from lovely Vivian, who is Green Rabbit Designs, such a talented lady, my goodness. And she gifted me this. This was such a surprise for my birthday. This has been on my list for so long, and I've said before, I opened it and I thought, I didn't order that. How did that happen? And my husband was like, yeah, you obviously did. I was like, I didn't. Anyway, it's from Vivian. So that's lovely. So that's what I'm going to try and do. So sort of, actually no, I'll probably read that alongside something else, actually, because it's non-fiction. You don't need to know all this. And alongside this, I got 2 lovely little reads that Nikki's Clever Husband had done, which I love. They're hanging up in my room actually, so I won't go and get them now because I'm already wittering on. And I just wanted to show you some of the other books that I got last week that I picked up, because people are often saying, where'd you get your books from? Just literally second-hand bookshops. You can get them on Amazon, of course, as well, but obviously you'll pay postage. And if you rummage around a bookshop, best thing to do is find some of these. I went to a book fair the other day. Everything was so expensive, but anyway, this one, which I picked up at the National Trust bookshop, it's got a really nice. I actually prefer a lot of these out of their dust jackets. Yes, and I was reading about Benningfield. It was actually born in Bermondsey, which is where some of my family hail from. And the first section that I've read in here is actually talking about, and I will put up on the screen because I haven't got my glasses on, but when this was actually written, but I think it was probably about 40 plus years ago. And he's talking about the demise of our meadows and the way intensive farming is changing things, and yeah, it's a really poignant read. We've just sort of got worse and worse and worse, but it's just full of beautiful illustrations, and he's lovely with his words. But the whole book, a bit awkward showing you this, the whole book is lovely, and I think that was about £3 or £4, I think. Anyway, yeah, £3. So that was a bargain. And then when I went to a book fair in Topton the other day. It was really expensive, but I got this British Birds and what's it called? Complete volume, the Bodley Head Natural History. But inside, every single page has got these little illustrations. Look at that. Cool. So that was more expensive, that was £8, but still when you pay that for a paperback, don't you? Look at that. I actually can't see a year in it. The guy who sold it has written inside 1913, and it was gifted in looks like 28, but that's lovely. And also, I couldn't resist this, which is just a little ladybird book, sorry. Oh, I've just looked at the back, it was sold, it's from Newton Abbott. And it's just a children's ladybird book, but I just thought it was lovely. Yeah. So they were my finds. A couple of books that I'm reading every single day are A Year with Nature and Nature's Calendar, which I think I've shown you before. And I just read through a couple of passages of those a day. And I won't go into it today because I'm rambling on, but I've started keeping a nature journal and a Commonplace book. Again, I'll talk about that next time, but the Commonplace book is where you write down all the little quotes and things that you read, and then they go, well, for me, they go in here and then out here, and then I think, where did I read that? Who said that? So I've started jotting those down as well. So anyway, I think I've rambled on about books long enough. I hope you like books. I'm just going to show you some of the yarns that we've dyed up this week and the bags that are going into the shop, and then I'll stop talking. I'm so hot. I got a lovely fan the other day from a lady called Chris, who sent me a Wimbledon fan, which I haven't actually got around to using it. I think I can't use that, it's still in its box. I don't know what that's about. This one's lovely. This was from a friend actually where I used to work. She brought it back from Spain. So hot, sorry, always hot. Anyway, I just wanted to show you some of the yarns that are going into the shop, because I showed one Grandma's quilt actually on Instagram and I wasn't happy with how it looked. It's lighter than it was showing, so I thought I'd show them to you on here. So this is geranium, making sure you don't see me, and this is, well, I have geraniums in my back garden that self-seed, not the bright reds and what have you. It's a different type of geranium. And this is a little, it's not being sold as a fade, they're being sold individually because Sometimes you might want one and not the whole fade, so, but that is a nice fade, I think. So that's that. And then there is another one called Black Knight, which we actually sold before on sock, and this is on double knit. And this was inspired by a buddleia I've got in my back garden, which is actually it's a quite vibrant purpley colour in sunlight, but at dusk it goes like, it almost looks like this aubergine colour. So that's what inspired that. So there are a few skeins of that on double knit. I know some people were asking for some more Black Knight, but I don't have it in sock. And then this one is called Ballroom Silks. And oh my goodness, I love that. So it's like rhubarb pink, pinky red, and it's sort of like, I would describe it as sort of, it's so in some lights it looks like a green gold, but actually it's looking more sort of caramel with brown sprinkles. That's lovely. There is, bear with me just 1 second. Sorry about that. It's not skeined up, but there is also, this is a kid mohair silk, which goes beautifully with it. Which, there might be a couple of skeins of that going into the shop as well. Oh, it's yummy. And then, just have to give it a little, actually it also goes well with this, look at that. Anyway, this is Grandma's quilt. Got two here so that you can, they're slightly different depending on the way that they are skeined up. That's Grandma's quilt. And that is just literally, when you see those gorgeous quilts with all those lovely colours in. Yeah. Few skeins of that. That is all actually on 75% merino, superwash merino, 25% nylon, apart from this one. Oh, and this one, just double knit. There, we are going to be having some Donegal Nep on sock and double knit, and we're also looking to get some vegan yarns, so I don't know if that's something you would be interested in. Let me know if it is, or what other bases that you would like. And then completely as a contrast, if you're still celebrating summer and you love daisies and marguerites, and there's a lovely bright yellow, yellows and creams with sort of apricot sprinkles. So they're yarns. Just show you some of the bags. So we've got, this is the bag that's going in this week, which actually goes really nicely with this. And that comes with, they've got little hand sewn tabs, and that is with a blue polka dot lining. Box bottom, quite a thin cotton, but it stands up quite happily on its own. And that also comes, I'm still finishing this one, still finishing the tie on this one. That also comes with a purple polka dot. More polka dots, I know, I love it. Also, there is one more little cow parsley bag going in. This is on a really lovely, soft, this is 100% linen. Assuming you can see this. And it's cow parsley, a little tiny one on the back, with a sort of ditzy print lining. That's going in. Oh, and this one, which if you watched my blog, you probably saw me doing. Lots of little flowers, plain back, and did the flowers to sort of echo the lining really. And then this one, which is actually already sold, but this is just about to go off to its new owner, and that is lavender bag with the same lining. So that's it. And the other thing that I'm actually embroidering at the moment, because I'm thinking of autumn, this bag is not finished at all, is, I hope you can see that, berries, which are just starting to be in the hedgerows now, which I love. So that's that. If you want to hang around for my vlog, which is just a mix of what's been going on for the last week in my life, thank you for watching. And what you could do, play a little game. How many times do I say so? Anyway, thank you for watching. So I'm just doing some artwork for the Wildflowers Minis Club, and sorry, where am I? So I've done the berries. This little plant, just a stalk, and then we're there, I think. If you can actually see what I'm doing. I'm not going to faff and fiddle with that too much actually, because that's what I do. I keep going, I keep fiddling and faffing with it, and then I think, oh, I wish I hadn't done that now. But this is going to be for the, I say the artwork, it's actually going to be for the Instagram and for the listing for the Wildflowers Minis Club. Sorry, I'm not even showing the right thing, am I? Anyway, I think I'm going to leave that alone. So, a Borky Monty, just some Prosecco, which I love. These little glasses are from our, what we call the antique supermarket, but it's basically a big 3-storey antique shop in Topsham. These, we see you, Monty. These are from my mum and dad, who, I lost my dad many years ago, but these were from their crystal collection, so it's always special when we have them. We can see you! We see you! Ooh. Ooh. Monty has lost his voice singing to George Ezra. Ooh. Ooh. Hello, Archie. Hello. So, a bit of Saturday morning knitting on my drippity drop socks. This is just starting to happen. Bakery Bears radio show. Hey Archie, oh there's his sock. Yeah, there's his sock, never far away. So, we are at Killerton again, having a wander. Beautiful day. Look at that countryside. So lovely. This is the post office. And actually this was a working post office. Not just reconstructed, it actually was. Look at all this. I imagine a post office like this actually would have been a lifeline. Oh, I used to play post offices when I was a little girl. Look at that. What do I sound like? Cool, look at those.
Spangles.
Look at all that.
Remember Spangles, Sharon?
I do remember Spangles. No, I'm far too young to remember Spangles. Where did I just see sellotape? There it is. So that little post office closed in 1977 apparently, and then many years later they opened a door to find all of those things on the shelves all there, so they were all authentic, because I was asking were they authentic. This rose smells utterly glorious. This is the piggery. I was reading actually that rationing went on until 1954. And you probably did all right though, didn't you, after that? This is the old wash house. Actually, a book that I've just started reading, Longbourn, they're talking about doing the washing, and it would have been a most unpleasant job actually, I think, washing everyone's clothes, and you would have had chilblains, would have been boiling hot or freezing cold. Mangle. Looking at this floor, just chatting to someone who was actually saying that her dad used to have a bath in one of those. I was just looking at the floor, which here is fine, and that is probably you know how it originally was. And look at this, this is the wear from where people are constantly coming in. Look who we found, a little friend. Look at that coat. Beautiful. It's that cap, Christopher, that's what it is. So lovely here, this is my kind of garden. A bit rambling. I'd like to recreate this at home actually. So apparently this garden, the whole thing during the war, was just turned over to vegetables. That would have been very different then. One thing you can't get is the smells here are beautiful. Look at this little pathway takes you to another little sitting area. Yeah, so this whole section, all of the lawned area and all of this, would have been vegetables. That is a lot of veg, David. I do love a path like this. Oh, I like that. It's in quite a lot of sun, isn't it, really, for a fern? That's lovely. Notice this, look. Are they damsons? Look, they're being fried. They're not being picked, unfortunately, which is rather a shame. Vegetable garden. Slightly bigger bug hotel than I have. And raspberries. I've actually got my name down for an allotment. Quite fancy spending my afternoons there. So this is kind of what you've built me, except these are not Archie proofed. Yeah. Look at this. The leaves on this. And the way it catches the light. So lovely. It's easy to be drawn to flowers, but I think leaves and greenery is just as lovely. That takes some beating. Look at that. And another little place to sit. We should do this at home. We should have little areas to sit. I like this. Not that our garden is anything like as big as this, but...
Lady's choice.
So, which way to go? The path not taken. This way, guys. Do love a pathway. I'm aware of the fact that I sound slightly bonkers. I sound a little bit crazy to say that I love this wall. I mean, love this wall. Look at it. It should have something climbing up it. Sort of all the way around the car park. Love it. Just on our way home, picked this up. Just reading about this guy. I've got a couple of books of his at home actually. Look. Yes. That yes is Keith. He's just checking up on the cricket score. Look at that. That was a find. I was really pleased when I saw that. So, Sunday morning, we're in Topsham. There is a book fair, and I'm hoping to get some nice books in there. It's an overcast day, but it's so warm. We met on our way home. Archie, very excited, Archie. Oh, very excited. Oh, look at this lovely nose. Makes my day, he does. Want tea? Want tea? Yeah, he's a good boy. They have clearly been bathing because they're drying themselves off in the dog bowl again. Giving yourself away there, fluffing yourselves up. But look, just in the bird bath, if you can see, there is a little sparrow. So that makes my day. Thursday morning, and I've got it in my head that I'm going to try and do. I did yesterday. Oh, I can't see on this. I did yesterday. I think it was about 15,000 steps. I've got it in my head that I want to do 12,000 a day. So I'm going on a power walk down to the local shop with Maya. Made this. Actually made this, and it's been really good. Quite pleased. You always think, is it going to do the job? I'm off. As you see, they're still favouring this little one. Been having a good bath in there. They all queue up to go in there, which is funny. These guys, I do apologise for the fact they're on top of my compost bin, have just had a bath, haven't you guys? How can I tell? You are so funny. Here they are forming an orderly queue. There's a pigeon got in on the act. He's walked away. This one is considering, do I go in or not? Oh, we think we've got a little nest. Yep, he's going to go for it. He's going for it. Go on, go for it. Yeah, we think we've got a little nest, sparrow's nest. Just in the nest box, just on the house. Well, go on if you're going. Oh, now what happens? What do you think, girls? You do look funny when you're wet. Yeah, I look funny too, I know.